Hello students, today we are going to talk about effective assessment and assessment types, rubrics and gradings. Let's do a little bit warming up activity. Answer these questions using 4 square with a diamond. Do you know what is assessment? What types of assessment do you know? And what is difference between grading and assessment? Rubrics for presentation. What kind of rubrics you can create for presentation? Assessment in education. Assessment in education refers to process of evaluating and measuring our students' understanding, skills, and the progress concerning a specific learning objective or curriculum standard. What is classroom assessment? Is a process of collecting, synthesizing, and interpreting information to aid in decision making in classroom, including informal approaches such as asking questions of students within a lesson, watching them as they engage in small group discussions, and formal approaches such as projects and tests. As James Popham said, design and deliver instructions that measures up, plan instructions that engage students in challenging applications of key content knowledge. This is effective practice cycle. First of all, we should plan, then teach, then revise, then assess. Summary of assessment types. Usually we have two types such as formative assessment and summative assessment. What are the difference between these two assessments? First of all, we can consider as a purpose. They have a different purpose. For formative assessment, the goal is monitor and guide the learning process while still in progress. And for summative assessment, it aims to judge the success of learning process at its completion. Time of assessment. The formative assessment we can use during the process, and the summative assessment we will use at the end of the process. Types of assessment techniques. For formative assessment, informal observation, quizzes, homework, pupils' questions and worksheets. For summative assessment, we are going to use formal tests, projects, and term papers. Use of assessment information. For formative assessment, improve and change a process while it is still going on. For summative assessment, judge the overall success of process, grade, place, and promote. Generally, assessment and grading are not the same. The goal of grading is to evaluate individual students' learning and performance. They may incorporate criteria such as attendance, participation, and effort that are not direct measures of learning. And the goal of assessment is to improve student learning. Although grading can play a role, assessment also involves many ungraded measures of student learning, such as observation or job placement performance. Moreover, assessment goes beyond grading by systematically examining patterns of student learning across courses and programs and using this information to improve educational practices. So what is a rubric? Rubric is a type of scoring guide that assesses and articulates specific components and the expectations for an assignment. Rubrics can be used for a variety of assignments, research papers, group projects, portfolios, and presentations. Why we use rubrics? It helps instructor assess assignment consistently from student to student. Save time in grading both short-term and the long-term. Give timely, effective feedback and promote student learning sustainably. Clarify expectations and the components of an assignment for both student and the course teaching assignments. Refine teaching methods by evaluating rubric results. And I will explain every part of this table The first one, it is rubric title. And these are, we call it criteria. Criteria such as requirements, attractiveness, organization, oral presentation. We have different kinds of criteria for different kinds of assignments. And this part, we call it performance descriptors. And this is called scoring. What kind of points you are going to give, for example, 4 points, maybe 20 points. And we should have teacher's comment at the end of our table. It's very important. Let's look at this case study, helping a new teacher develop effective rubrics for essay assessment. You are going to read these articles, and your task is to work together as a group to help Maria revise rubrics, making them clear and more specific. How about the Maria's rubrics? Was the essay relevant to the topic? And did the essay have an introduction, body, and conclusion parts? And how was the language quality? And were references used? I also give you assessment rubrics for writing. We use categories such as thesis and arguments, use of evidence, essay structure, critical thinking, grammar, language use. We can assess it by the percentages or points. And this is example of rubric for presentation. How can we assess a presentation, such as using the criteria like content quality, organization, visual aids, and grammar accuracy. So today we are going to the one sentence summarize to give me reflection. Thanks for your attention. See you next lesson.